Good day, everyone. Today we are going to talk about data breach consequences, not just from technical perspective, but from a real world organizational, legal, and human impact point of view. But before that, let me share to you the screen that I have. Okay, I'll be sharing to you for a while. Let me just Okay, thank you so much for that. And you know, many people think that a data breach is simply a hacker stole some files, but in reality, a data breach can destroy a company's reputational damage, and therefore it can cost millions of pesos in fines here in the Philippines and in abroad as well. No, it also exposes private lives, and in some cases, end a business entirely. So by the end of this discussion, you will understand why data protection is not optional and why cybersecurity professionals are critical in today's digital world. So here are objectives for today. So by the end of this session, you should be able to understand the difference between human readable and machine readable data. No? Explain why data is a prime target for attackers. Identify the major consequences of data breaches. Understand legal and financial penalties. And of course, and most importantly, realize your responsibility as future IT professionals, or if if we can say that you are now IT professionals. This is not just theory, this is what happens in real organization. Let's proceed with human readable data. Let's start with human readable data. Human readable data is information that people can easily read and understand without any special tools, okay, by our naked eye. Examples, no? This can be the emails, electronic mails, documents, text documents, medical records, names, addresses, usernames, and passwords. So if an attacker gain access to this type of data, they immediately understand it. There is no need to decode it. There is no need for special software. By their naked eye, they can be able to see it and understand those data. This is why storing sensitive information in plain text is extremely dangerous. Now let's talk about machine readable data, also called non-human readable data. Examples include JSON files, no? JavaScript object notation, XML extensible markup language. At first glance, this type of data looks confusing because of the curly braces, the tags, the structured fields. But if you are a programmer, okay, you can be able to understand that. I'm teaching that to I'm sharing this to my students that they should be able to know how to read codes as well. So many people assume if you do not know how to read that particular code, many people assume this looks complicated, so it must be secure. But ladies and gentlemen, that assumption is wrong. Machines understand this data perfectly, and so do attackers, because these attackers sometimes they are programmers and they know how to read this code. Okay? But aside from that, they have the special tools to read these codes. So once it's stolen, machine readable data can be parsed, decoded, analyzed, and then definitely they can be able to be exploited. So what is the important lesson here? Data formats does not equal data security. Okay, so why do attackers target data? Okay, because data has a value. It is considered an asset. Stolen data can be used for one, identity theft. Pwedeng nakawin. Second, financial fraud. Third, account takeover. Maybe an exploitation of the maybe an account escalation, no, of privileges. Okay, account takeover, corporate espionage. And then of course, if they can be able to take this data already, they can be able to sell this information or this data on the dark web. And therefore, they can be able to earn from it. So once data leaves an organizational control, if the organization do not have that control already, you cannot undo the damage. It can be reputational damage, it can be financial losses, etc. Now, you can reset passwords, you can rebuild systems, but you cannot take back leak data already. One of the most serious consequences of a data breach is reputational damage. So, what does it mean? When a company is breached, definitely customers lose trust and confidence on that particular brand, on that particular company. Users stop using that service. Investors panic, and if they would panic, maybe they would withdraw their investments. Stock prices may drop. So, organizations are often legally required to notify users by sending breach notification letters or emails. Imagine receiving a message that says your personal data has been compromised. Ouch. Okay, trust is broken instantly. So, what's the takeaways or key idea here? It takes years to build trust, but only minutes to destroy it. Another major consequences is intellectual property theft, also known as IP theft. This includes source code, software designs, trade secrets, research data, business strategies. So when IP is stolen, competitors gain unfair advantage. Innovation is lost, long-term financial damage occurs. Unlike money, intellectual property cannot simply be refunded because once it's stolen, it's gone. Now let's talk about financial and legal consequences. Organizations may face penalties under laws such as HIPAA, that is in the United States, but here, Data Privacy Act of 2012. For healthcare, these are for healthcare data in the US, but here in the Philippines, as what I have mentioned, Data Privacy Act of 2012. PCI DSS for credit card data. Here in the Philippines, that's the standard that maybe the BSP is using it. GDPR for personal data protection, that is in Europe, and here in the Philippines, Data Privacy Act of 2012. Under GDPR, fines can reach 20 million euros. Wow, here in the Philippines, we have a couple of pesos also. Or 4% of global annual revenue, whichever is higher under the European Union. These penalties exist because data protection is a legal obligation. And that is also applicable here in the Philippines. Negligence is not an excuse. Many companies fail not because of hackers, but because of poor security controls. And sometimes these attackers would employ reconnaissance attacks, and then they would discover that there are poor security controls on that company. So here's something that surprises many people. Not all breaches must be reported immediately. In some regulations, here in Europe, but here in the Philippines, you need to report it immediately. Breaches affecting 500 or more records must be reported quickly. Small breaches may be reported later. This leads to a dangerous mindset. It's if it's a small breach, so it's not serious. This thinking is wrong. Small breaches often become big breaches if ignored. Okay, so what's the key lessons? So what are the key takeaways? Just comment down below what are your key takeaways. These are the key takeaways that I have. One, data security is not optional. It must, okay, be practiced by the company. Prevention is cheaper than recovery. Security must be proactive, not reactive. And ladies and gentlemen, every employee plays a role in security. Everyone, it should be shared responsibility from the top to bottom, from the bottom to the top. Okay, as future IT professionals, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, you are not just managing systems, you are protecting people, business, and trust. To conclude, remember this: a data breach. Okay. All to conclude, remember this: a data breach is not just a technical failure. It is. Wait lang for a while. Let me stop sharing. Okay. And a data breach is not just a technical failure. It is a business failure, a legal failure, and then definitely a trust failure. Cybersecurity is not just about fear. It is about responsibility. Thank you and stay secure and have a great day. Mabuhay.